Hey y'all, and welcome back to Drawditions. In today's video, it's another Inktober video, day 2. As you saw in the title, today's topic will be spiders. Now, I was excited for this topic because a spider is something that I could just straight up just kind of draw, and I wanted to take it in a creative direction. Obviously, I'm not just gonna draw a base spider, and I had a few ideas. For example, I considered doing a mechanical spider, like a giant kind of like mech spider almost, but decided against it. And one of my friends actually suggested I add something to this later on. It's just a little joke in the drawing, but I found it funny, so I did actually end up adding it. But so what my idea was for this is, because spider's kind of a straightforward prompt, I wanted to go, a little further with it, like I said. So instead of just drawing a spider, I decided to do this cave. And my idea was that I would have someone standing in the entrance of the cave facing away from us, and that person in the center of the cave is going to be looking at something, and the thing they're going to be looking at is this ginormous spider descending from the ceiling, and or like already being on the ground, just kind of a spider, just giant, standing in their way, and this person's kind of like afraid, and like I didn't know how to portray afraid, so this person just kind of ends up looking just mildly like, wow. But regardless, I ended up liking the idea. The cave took me a bit, because, as I said in the last one, terrain is something I do struggle with. But I did end up getting something I was happy with, where it actually did look like the inside of a cave to me. The spider was pretty easy, actually. Spiders are really just like 3 shapes repeated. And so it was just a matter of placing those legs in a way that looked natural, which I did not really do. This thing does not look right, does not look normal, but it works, so I'm happy with it. Also, was originally gonna do like a radioactive symbol on its back, but then just kind of ended up doing whatever the heck this is. It's a random symbol, doesn't have a meaning, thought it looked cool, but meh. As for the 2 legs on the back, I thought it would be cool to have them be a lot smaller and just show them kind of spinning the web as it comes down. Oh, and there was a ton of layering in this one, where I just had to kind of figure out where would this be in front of, what would this be in front of. And that was an interesting challenge. As you can probably see, I didn't add much detail to anything. Everything is kind of flat. And my reasoning for that was, this is in a cave. It's going to be dark. You're not going to be able to see much. In fact, I just wanted to do a silhouette of the guy, and I wanted the spider to be the most obvious thing, but yeah, no. It was going to be dark, so I kept everything very simple. And honestly, I think that works. I think that was also beneficial, because just like yesterday, and I mean, you're going to be able to tell based on the fact that I'm posting this so late, but I was in a rush today. Like I was yesterday, I have a bunch of stuff that I just gotta do, so I can really only do this once I'm done with that stuff. But I really want to commit to doing this every day, so I'm just glad to get a video out. So lines definitely could have been cleaner, definitely could have done better, and more importantly, definitely could have, if I had just done the spider and hadn't tried to do this kind of narrative thing, definitely could have made something cool. But I am happy with how this came out. I like this better than yesterday's, a lot better actually, because I feel like the piece kind of came together in a good way, and I do think it's, you've probably noticed by now, but I put a sign in the bottom left corner that says "Welcome to Australia." That was the joke I was referencing earlier. I thought it was funny, so I did include that. But really, there's not like a ton I have to say about this. I will say I went like super heavy on the shading for this one because it's supposed to be dark, and the shading is super messy, but I kind of feel like that works because there's like a difference between dark and cave dark. Like dark is, at least it's still like you can kind of make out the shape of things. When you're in a cave, it's just dark. It's like, it's almost a blurry kind of dark. So I did end up, I actually think the messy kind of works, but again, the messy was kind of a result of me rushing. But, you know, I am excited to just continue this challenge, and just like yesterday, I had a lot of fun doing this one. And I didn't do like a full rough draft like I did last time, but what I did do was I did very shaky lines, and while a lot of those lines did remain, when I was going in and doing the shading, I went in and kind of straightened a bunch of those lines, just to make them look a little better. So that was kind of me doing a rough draft, but not really. I think that for the most part, most of these Inktober drawings are going to end up looking very sketchy in a way, very something you would just have in like a sketchbook before you do like the real drawing. And I'm kind of okay with that because, like I said in the last one, I think that this is a great way to introduce just new topics, things I wouldn't usually draw. Now, a spider isn't that outlandish for something I would draw because I do draw a bunch of like fantasy creatures. But like, just in general, I think it's a good challenge for that. So, you know, I'm not like, I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, moving on, gonna take a break from whatever the heck I was just saying and replace it with this, because I always forget to do this. 1, if you enjoy my videos, if you enjoy the art in the video, or if you just enjoy my random rambling rants, please like the video. It would help me out a lot. It would help me get more notice. And on the idea of helping me, subscribing would also be great because, you know, that feeds the algorithm. So if you enjoy it, please like, please subscribe, and better yet, if you want to see one of your ideas be turned into a video, it would be great if you would leave a comment. That would be super helpful. So thank you in advance for those that end up doing that. As you can see, I've made it over to the shading at this point, and I was trying something kind of new. So I had this idea, because there needed to be light so that something could be seen, and don't ask me what's lighting the sign, I have no idea. But I had this idea that maybe the guy is holding a torch, so the outsides of him would be the lightest part, and the back, like the middle, would be the darkest. So I kind of went ahead and tried to do that. Don't think it super worked because the smudging because I was trying to smudge it to see if that would blend it better, and I think I just was a little too wild because, like I said, I was kind of going for that wild aesthetic, and I think I just went a little too wild with it, but I really don't know how to portray something as glowing with black and white like color scale. For example, I wanted this thing's eyes, the spider's eyes, to be glowing, and kind of try and represent that by having the face be like the only thing that isn't shaded, but it is what it is. I hope y'all enjoyed. This is the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!